Close-up photo of the Roc Nation mogul, 50 wrote, "Jay in hibernation, he ain't coming outside till this ish with Puff blow over. No brunch, no lunch, no dinner. LOL, I'm all you got, I'm outside." 50 was referencing Jay Z canceling this year's Roc Nation brunch, which is held annually before the Grammy Awards and is typically attended by Diddy, among other A-list celebrities. This is not the first time that 50 Cent has taken aim at Jay Z over Diddy's sexual assault allegations, all of which the Bad Boy Records founder denies. Back in March, the G-Unit boss shared an image of a milk carton with Jay Z's face edited onto its missing children's ad slot. "Anybody seen Jay? LOL." Puff said the "ain't answering his phone, LOL." He captioned the post, jokingly suggesting Jigga had gone ghost on his longtime friend in his time of need. 50 later uploaded a deepfake video from the film New Jack City with the faces of actors Wesley Snipes and Ice-T altered slightly to represent Puffy and Hove, respectively.
"I should have killed you myself, bitch." See, that's the difference with you and me. Yeah, well, this is over with. Come work for me.
He wrote underneath the clip, "This thing is bigger than Nino Brown, LOL, New Jack Diddy." With this caption, 50 appeared to be implying that Jay-Z has some knowledge of Diddy's alleged crimes of sexual assault and sex trafficking. Jay has yet to comment on the allegations made against Diddy by various parties, including his ex-girlfriend Cassie and the Love album producer Lil Rod. 50 Cent has also used deepfakes to mock Diddy since the first lawsuit was filed against him in November, including one that involved Donald Trump. In March, he shared a doctor video which showed former President Trump saying,
Puffy, you stupid ass nigga. I told you stop fucking with R. Kelly. I said, grab them in the pussy. Don't kidnap the pussy. They raided your shit. I got a courtesy call when they raided my house. You really fucked up, my nigga."
The deepfake also referenced rumors of a gay affair between Diddy and Meek Mill, which the Dreams and Nightmares rapper.
Fifth Amendment right, the judge can hold you in contempt and keep you in jail for the life of the crime. For the life of the court proceedings. So why would she go through that stuff? She go in there and answer the questions they ask her.
Now, do you think, that's kind of tricky though, don't you think? Because she was with Diddy for like 10 years. You don't think she was part of any of these crimes or anything?
Bruh, this is not tricky because when she come in and they testify for them, they're gonna give her immunity over anything that happened. Because you got to realize they don't want her. They want him. So the DA going to say, yo, listen to me. Anything that you tell us, even though it's a criminal act that you were doing and stuff like that, we're going to give you immunity. You're going to be one of our witnesses. She's going to be witness for the prosecution.
Okay.
Picture on Instagram of King performing with his father on stage. 50 then sarcastically commented, "I feel so threatened by the things Christian is saying on his record. I'm afraid for my life. Please don't hurt me, guys. I never mentioned or posted anything about Puffy's kids because Keefe D said he killed Tupac. LOL." 50 then went on to rehash the sexual assault allegations against King Combs, and he posted pictures of the alleged victims' injuries. On that post, 50 wrote, "At King Combs, that what you told Grace O'Marque on that boat, huh? Gave her the puffy juice with the special sauce in it. LOL, boy oh boy, bad boy for life." And it looks like 50 also wasn't done there because he later went on to highlight some lyrics from Pick a Side where King Combs rapped,
"Knock them walls down like when them Fetty boys ran in both our cribs. Too bad they ain't know we bought the one next door cause that's the one they miss."
In his caption for that, 50 wrote, "Now why would you say something like this when you know the feds are investigating? Is you stupid or is you dumb? LOL." King Combs was accused of sexual assault by...
Now that he's trying again to make everyone believe Diddy is tied to serious crimes, 50 would be the first to step up if the feds came asking for tips and proof. They say you're scared of clowns, but really that's hard to believe. Why is that so hard to believe? Just because I'm a black man, I have real fears in life. A clown doesn't even make the list. They keep saying it though. But I'm telling you, clowns don't scare me. So the real question is, what move will Diddy make next?
About your birthday party, am I invited?
Yes. Yes, you're definitely invited. I invite you to all my parties. You just haven't seemed to show up.
No, well, is it on the East Coast?
Yes.
Well, that's why. Why don't you have one here on the West Coast? Because I work all the time.
Okay, well, maybe I have one at your house.
Where's that? Now, what time would your party start, let's say?
Like 9:30.
Really? That early?
Yeah.
I could make that.
Yeah.
But I could think of you of starting a party at like midnight. Like, what time will it go till?
That's a different type of party, though.
Uh-huh.
No, it'll go from like 9:30 to like maybe 3 o'clock, 3 o'clock. And then, you know, we have the top 2 floors of the hotel. You know.
And then it will carry on there?
Yeah. Then no, I mean the after party.
No, I know about them. I'll listen to the music. I've heard that song, After Party. But that was at the Holiday Inn, I think.
Here's the issue. 50 says he uses his fame and status in the music industry to lure young artists into his home with promises of parties, but once the clock hits midnight, that's when things take a strange turn and the real story begins.
Freak off session where they used to do in the studio and all of that over different entertainers' houses and stuff, where they be having them parties where they won't invite you to, and they be like, we having a party tonight, but this ain't your kind of party. You be like, yeah, I ain't going. I don't want to go. Freak off parties, when you go in there and it be, yo, let me tell you something. We used to go in the club. We go into the nightclub, right? And we go and get to the VIP. All of these girls come around the VIP and they just be standing there. And like, let me tell you something, man. I'm going to get back with you. We got to rewind this back. We used to go to when we go to the club, we used to have these bottles, right? And on this bottle, they be regular Moet bottles. On them bottles right there, they've been to have something to make the girls be real slippery and all of this kind of stuff. So when you get up, they be like, don't touch them bottles right there and only drink them bottles right there. So we already knew what the drill was. You just don't mess with them bottles, right? Then all of the girls is in the club after a while. They all running, opening up their mouth like little birds. He just run around just popping pills in their mouth. Pop pill. And then that was the party. But all of the females that was in it, that's what they wanted. That was what party. It was part of the hip hop culture. We ain't see nothing wrong with it until Bill Cosby got in trouble.
According to 50, Diddy keeps the cups full all night, making sure the young crowd stays under the influence with heavy drugs and strong drinks. Welcome to the family, he says, while secretly recording everything and using the footage to trap people later. The goal is simple: get them out before they even realize what happened, so no one sticks around long enough to become a witness.
Definitely making it. I'm making it for everybody, and I think it's going to really open and broaden everybody's horizons. Yeah, definitely. I was looking for you. I tell you, get your hand out of my pocket, man. Get your hand out of my pocket. I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing on the channel. Get your hand out of my pocket, man. Look at me when I'm talking to you. I see, yo. I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing, man. I see what you're doing. Nah, look at me, man. I see what you're doing, man. Yeah, you gonna make me. Okay, I'm telling you right now. On I Want to Work for Diddy, I'm going to physically put my hands on somebody for the ratings because he's not going to outdo me. I'm going to physically. I'm going to go to Central Book. Yeah. I'm used to it. I know what it is. But you get your hand on my pocket. Get off my channel, boy. I love this show. Though.
You got the brand new show. Have you seen it?
I love this show.
Donald Trump's seen it as well.
Yeah. Donald Trump saying my show is a knockoff of The Apprentice. I said, what's the matter with Donald? I mean, he got a little age on him. You can see
to
now.
me, be honest, it felt a little I Want to Work for Diddy inspired to me, though.
Yeah, but you know what? This is what I got to do it, right? And these are my friends.
The rapper has been saying all this for years, but the real question is, why do people still listen to him even now? Before asking for proof or looking deeper, they just follow his words like they hold all the truth without ever stopping to wonder what's really going on.
Rapper 50 Cent arrived at the courthouse with an entourage and walked past cheering fans. But once inside the courtroom, he became Curtis Jackson, a 29-year-old who admitted to trampling and beating 3 women at a concert.
He attacked women. We were just there to see a concert. We were not there to get beat up. We were not there to get hit.
The rapper with the gangster attitude stepped on 2 of the women and punched the 3rd in the face after jumping into the crowd in search of someone who threw a water bottle at him during a surprise concert at this club in May of 2004.
They did nothing to justify or excuse the defendant's actions.
Curtis Jackson already has a criminal record from 10 years ago. He was a drug dealer and a gang member. He was convicted of a felony.
He has demonstrated since his earlier run-in with the law as a young man that he is a law-abiding citizen.
That is not the image 50 Cent uses to sell his music, but it will have to be. Judge Robert Coomer accepted Jackson's admission of the facts, gave him a lecture on how this incident would reflect on the rapper's 9-year-old son, and then continued the case for 2 years without a finding. In the meantime, the rapper will have to submit to random drug tests, pay the medical expenses of his victims, pay court costs, undergo anger management treatment, and produce an anti-gun violence public service announcement. Jackson signed off on the deal. And then snuck out of the courthouse through a back door without signing any autograph.
Back when he and Diddy were close, Diddy never officially signed him to Bad Boy, so as a new rapper trying to break into the game, he struggled, while today it's way easier for newcomers to get in. Truth is 50 had his own agenda all along, and deep down you can tell there's some jealousy in the mix.
So what is that? Because I heard stories about you literally just like all of a sudden getting a plane, jumping on a plane, and flying to some other country. Have you done that? Have you just like literally like decided within an hour and then everyone gets on a plane?
Yeah, we used to do that frequently. That gets expensive too. Yeah.
That's crazy.
I mean, Entourage was basically his life, and I say was in past tense because
You gotta
it has
see
so
his entourage
drastically
compared
changed.
to my entourage.
What is your entourage
Well,
now?
mine is very scaled back now. If I'm with my family, it's my wife and the kids, and maybe we'll have a nanny, and maybe I'll have one of my assistants. Like the other day, yesterday we did something. He had 40 people with him. He had people that were like over in the corner working on computers. I'm like, well, they can't be with him. All of a sudden, he's like, you send that Instagram? And then, and I'm like,
Tell me about that new album. How does it differ from your previous work in terms of sound and energy, or is it kind of more of the same?
I started with concept, so I know I would make something that felt like things I met in the past. And the concept was prosperity. Because I tried to find, like, the outlines to a lot of my other projects was life and death. Like Ready to Die, like Life After Death, like the Machiavelli album. It all had those do or die tones to it. And this project, it's about prosperity. So it's a warped perspective to see it from some points, because it offers the positives and negatives. You know, it gives you the person that has that sense of entitlement towards you, to not being vocal at that point, but around you, thinking these things and feeling these feelings when they see you continue in progress, and you thinking that they're just a good friend and they're always gonna be there. You know, I wrote about jealousy and envy, and the environment that I grew up in. It may not actually be positive for you to do good in front of someone when the price of life is cheap. You know, they'll take your life because they see you progress and they develop something that's it's evil. It's that when they say that money is the root of all evil, it may bring evil out of people in different ways. Jealousy or envy, or seeing you have things that they wish they had, you know, at point. So I was able to capture that. And it's interesting because the tones within our culture have been, if it's not about money, it ain't about shit, you know. And it's a new way to offer a wider, broader perspective of that concept. It's more, right, it caters to the person that aspires to live the highest level of life. You know, it's the halut living, but it's more of a, I don't not make note of the person that is there with a sign just begging for something. You know, that doesn't actually want to do anything to move forward, but it's just there. They exist, so.
50 felt some deep jealousy over Diddy's early refusal to back him, which he believed was really about Diddy not wanting the trouble that came with his long rap sheet. Even though Diddy later tried to brush it off as a logistics issue, the sting of that rejection clearly never faded.
Let me tell you something, I don't mean to cut you, this funny. I used to, you know, we used to be on the road, you know, you'd be like, yo, let me go with my Puff room, see what they doing. And you knock on Puff door, he'd be sitting there damn near butt naked. You ever just had a grown ass man answer his hotel door butt naked and they'd be like, come on in? You'd be like, I'll come back. You ever close your eyes, you be like, I guess you're not presentable. And then walk away, because see, what happens is, if they be like, come on in, and then you come on in, they be like, this man just came into my room, I'm sitting there butt-ass naked, I told him to come on in, and he came on in. You be like, so what's going on for the day? Acting like you don't notice he there naked. You be like, bro, put some clothes on. What are you doing? I don't want to see you naked. Grown man stuff, yo, that's kind of disrespectful. So when you get that's called the test off. How you make sure you breaking in. Yo, call the artist up here to the room, tell him I want to have a meeting by my tub. He be in there by the tub and stuff, soaking and stuff, butt ass naked. You be like, how the hell am I supposed to have a meeting with a nigga butt naked in the tub?
50 claims there were no hard feelings because he never actually asked to be signed to Bad Boy since his style was different and better suited for other labels. But everything started to shift in a strange way once Diddy began reaching out to him personally.
50 said, now I'm sure Puffy didn't do it. He is innocent. This proves nothing. This is what his lawyers are going to say. God help us all. And he put the prayer hand emojis. Now, 50 is being sarcastic right here. He's pretty much saying, you know, I've been telling you guys Puffy is guilty, that there's some truth to it, and where there's smoke, there's fire. And, you know, for the people that say, you know, 50 is just hating on Diddy and, you know, you just always have something negative to say about it. People behind the scenes know this type of things about Diddy, and they've been knowing it about him all along. The fact that this footage is from 10 years ago and nobody has come forward and put this footage out, somebody has literally held on to this for the last 10 years and had no issue, you know, with not exposing that this exists, is crazy. So behind the scenes, a lot of people already know that this has been going on, know that this has been happening. We saw the video 50 posted earlier this year where it was Cassie balled up under a blanket on the floor, and Diddy was standing over, you know, and it seems like this is a similar incident, if it's not the same incident, you know, where Cassie was scared for her life.
What you gotta say now? What you gotta say now? You ain't got shit to say. When you put your girl on the snap, baby. I mean, shit getting weird. Come on, baby. It's hot outside. You fucking wrapped up in that blanket. Let's go jog on the beach.
And, you know, clearly being abused, man. So
For as long as anyone can remember, 50 Cent has been speaking out about who he believes Diddy truly is, but no one really listened until now. With all the recent accusations coming to light, people are finally paying attention to what he's been saying about the abuse he witnessed and endured. It's intense and disturbing. And while everything's still alleged, the picture being painted is of a man with a dark side the public can no longer ignore.